I've been working a lot with the secondary, but one of my jobs too is we have some young coaches on defenses to mentor them and be around them and make sure our drill works good and stuff. Because Coach Butler's got a lot of other things to do, so I'm doing that too.
Bill, I'm curious about your observations of Coach Rule and how you've obviously been with him for a long periods of time. He's talked this year about being able to be hands off because of the trust that he has in Dana and in John and having you around. What are your observations of that and the way he goes about his business?
Well, there's certain standards that he's going to require and demand from us. And it's really the quality in which we play, how physical and fast, and that we know and do our jobs, right? That's not going to change with Coach Rule. I mean, it doesn't matter who the coordinators here are or who I am. He's going to demand that. And so, really, I don't see any difference in him right now.
What stands out to you about those younger coaches, as you said, you're mentoring?
Well, they're all going to be, but most of them will probably be coordinators or head coaches. I mean, they're really quality people and coaches. But I grew up where the older coaches mentored the younger coaches, and I think there's a lot of coaches today that don't do that anymore. And I think it's my job to do that. Whatever I've learned over the years that I see can make them better as a teacher, I think it's my obligation to help them. And so the older coaches helped me when I was that age, and I should do the same for them. So those are the types of things I try to do with the younger coaches.
What things are you doing with them?
Well, it's like teaching, right? We can all get better at teaching. I'll give you an example. I was the defensive coordinator at Arizona State. Bruce Snyder was the head football coach. And he came in my meeting one day. And he left and after the meeting, and he said, "Phil, can I talk to you after practice?" So I went in, and he said, "Outstanding meeting, but you wasted 5 minutes." And I said, "How'd I do that, coach?" He said, "Well, you drew formations. You had to stop the meeting and draw a formation on the board instead of having an overlay where you could click to that and there's the formation. You wasted about 5 minutes." I mean, those are the details it takes to be really good at what you do. It's like how you set up a meeting. It should be all outlined on the board so they can write it down and know exactly what the meeting is going to be about. All right, and the details. And if they don't get them, they can go back to that outline and ask the coaches later. So there's a lot of things I can help them with. Details on the field, how to coach, don't talk too much on the field. All those little things that I've learned over the years, and those are the things I try to help them with.
I know in the spring you told us you were really impressed with Coach Eckler and the way he teaches. He's coming in here. How have you seen the guys just respond to him and that special teams operation as you get ready for the season?
Mike's fantastic coach. I mean, the way he teaches, he's around the players all day. He has an office, I don't know if you know this, upstairs with us and then down by the weight room. So he's around the players all the time, and you need to as a special teams coach. I mean, really, guys, they get to know everybody on the team because they utilize all of them. So he's done a fantastic job in our special teams. I'm anxious to watch them when we start the season.
Phil, why do you think Matt's teams have made a jump in their progression when they get to around this time and his stays at places he's been?
There's a process that he does, and it's not easy. And I'll give you an example. We went to Baylor, and Art Briles was one of the best coaches in football, but he did things dramatically different than we did. And Matt was a hell of a coach. So different ways of doing it. So you got to bring everybody together and now flip that. All right. And so, it takes time. A lot of the things that Coach Rule believes in and demands takes time. And you can see this team doing it. When Coach Rule, like we got on the defense the other day about not running the football, and Coach Rule came in the meeting. I mean, that they are just tied to him, to his hip. I mean, whatever he says, they're going to go out and do and believe. So that takes time. And the relationships and all that. And that's why I think the third year, Matt's teams have taken a big jump.
How challenging has it always been to be a good tackling team in week one of a season, and especially now with the practices, full pads limited more?
Yeah, I think it's tough tackling anyway because you watch these young players, everything is 7-on-7, and the mentality is not real football, right? It's all this other stuff when they're younger. So just to get players to tackle anyway is tough. But like you said, the first ball game, what you'll notice is missed tackles, all right, turnovers, and special teams, big plays on special teams. Those are the three areas that normally determine the first game. So you're right. And we've been doing a lot of tackling, especially with pads on.
When you want to tell guys, hey, here's the guy you should watch tackle, who on this team is tackling well right now?
Well, okay, I would tell you this, that the veteran players run better angles and they fit better. They just understand football better. But guys, everybody in this room, if you played football, you're going to have a loaf and you're going to turn down a hit at some point. We're all human beings, right? But what we're trying to do is eliminate all those. And so if the players, all right, if it's coming from the players about the physicality of this game and the effort, not from the coaches, but the players take ownership, then you get all that as good as it can be. But guys, there's always going to be somebody turn down a hit or a missed tackle, right? But if we're flying to the football and you miss a tackle, all right, there's 2 or 3 other guys standing there. So those are the goals right now.
Curious what you've seen from Coach Braden and what he's been doing with this defensive line.
Well, I love Terry. Terry's got a lot of energy and he's got the toughest job on our staff because Rule's the D-line guy. So, Matt comes in, but I think Terry and Coach Rule are getting along real well, and I see progress in every one of those young guys because, guys, we're really young at D-line. And we have a lot